everybody, and welcome back to Family Meeting Podcast. We hope that you had a great holiday season. Christmas was great for us. We had our Christmas Eve outreach, which went fantastic. And then we went away as a family to North Carolina to do some hiking in the mountains, get away, have a good time together, and ring in the new year the way I like to ring it in, asleep. So
yeah,
we had a good time. I hope you enjoyed last week's podcast episode with the girls' takeover. We actually listened to it on a drive from our cabin to Chimney Rock.
Yep.
Had a little over an hour drive to go see that, listen to the podcast. We had a great time listening to it, hearing what our girls had to say. And I hope that you enjoyed it and took something away as well. Look, we got today's episode. We're going to be talking about why worry is wrecking your marriage. So for some people, this is a real struggle.
Yeah.
You tend to be more of a worrier than I am.
Yeah.
There's very few things I worry about unless somebody says, hey, can I talk to you at such time, and they don't tell me what they're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. Or if Lysander says, hey, I need to talk to you later, I'm just like, uh-oh. Like, what did I do? Things start to race through my mind. Like, what did I say? What did I do?
Do you ever figure it out before we actually talk?
Absolutely never. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's about nothing. Well, at least nothing that has anything to do with me. Like the other day, you were like, hey, I have something serious I want to talk to you about later. And I'm just like, oh, great. And then I don't remember what it was.
It was just something about myself.
Yeah. So it had nothing to do with me. But the whole time I'm like, she didn't tell me. And I hate when people do this. And I should have just asked you, like, what's the subject matter? Because typically now I'll do that. If someone says,
and I try to tell you the subject matter ahead of time.
Yeah.
So that you know. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, we were in the cabin with the girls. There was just so much going on.
But for those of you who are new to the podcast, I'm a pastor. We lead Beachside Community Church here in Palm Coast, Florida. And as a pastor, I will often have people say, hey, can I talk to you? Can I meet with you? And I used to, in the early days, just leave it at that and schedule it. And then I would be like panicking inside, like, what is the conversation about? And you always go to the worst case scenarios and everything else. And now I'm like, I'd love to. What is the subject matter? What are we going to be talking about?
Yeah.
And just get it out in the open. So if you're going to have a conversation with somebody, just a little freebie, nothing to do with the podcast really, going to have a conversation with somebody about something serious, just give them a heads up about what you want to talk about. Don't blindside people, don't make them wonder or wait to figure out what it's going to be about. Just tell them right up front and it'll take that away. But other than that, like I don't worry about too much. Mm-hmm. But for some people, it is a real problem, and maybe you're not the worrier, but your spouse is, and that can cause its own set of issues in their marriage relationship. So we'll have a good conversation today about that. But we'd love to hear about your holiday, how it went, how did you ring in the new year? Are you one to stay up till midnight and to celebrate and all that? You early to bed? How do you do it? So drop that in the comments. We'll continue that conversation there. And now we're ready for episode 276 of the Family Meeting Podcast. Gather around, everybody. It's time for a family meeting. The Family Meeting is a show that's all about family relationships. We are the Osterkamps. I'm Thomas. This is my wife, Lysandra.
Hello and welcome to our family. Welcome to episode 276 of the Family Meeting Podcast. We're glad you're with us today. On today's episode, we're going to discuss worry.
Okay.
How worry is wrecking your marriage. How to replace fear with trust. And worry often shows up as like fear, control, assumptions, emotional distance. We're going to talk about all that stuff today. But we're not just talking about worry in your relationship. Like, I'm worried he's going to leave me, or I'm worried she won't be there when I get home, or whatever. We're not talking about just that, although it could be that. But even if you just worry about random things.
Yeah, like the news or like the news or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it can really affect your relationships. Or maybe it's not that you worry about everything, because there are people that literally worry about everything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that you have one thing that you worry so deeply about that it affects your relationship.
Well, one of the things that I always find it interesting that people worry about, and this is it's more than ever is like politics stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So like Trump went in and he basically took out and captured the president of Venezuela.
Right.
And like people are going nuts about this and that and worrying about, okay, what's Cuba or Russia or China or this person going to do? And it's just like most of that has no bearing on your day-to-day life or mine.
Right.
People worry and panic about stuff happening all over the place. It's like, I wish we could go back to we only knew the basic local stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
or like you might get worldwide news, but it might be like 3 days later.
Yeah.
Or something.
But you didn't
get
hear
everything.
You didn't hear about every bad thing going on all over the place all the time. We were just not meant to bear that much weight of the entire world on our shoulders all the time. Some people really have a problem with that. It's like my mom. I was like, Mom, just turn the news off. Stop watching the news. You don't need that 24/7. She used to watch it all the time. Now I think she sticks to maybe 5 o'clock or whatever it is. But so maybe that's a thing for you.
But this is not a political podcast, and that's the most we've probably ever talked politics on this podcast, right, babe?
Well, we talk about things that are happening, from time to time, and it's kind of prominent right now. But
it is. It's like you can't open your social media without seeing something.
But here's something to look forward to.
Okay, something good, something positive.
Something we are looking forward to. February 19th through 21st. We are looking forward to being with our friends from Barnhart again at their couple's getaway, they call it, in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Going to be staying at a hotel up there.
It's a beautiful area.
We've got 4 sessions we do up there, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Going to be talking about pressure on your marriage. And it's going to be a good time. We had a great time last year with them. Looking forward to being back with them again. Had a Zoom call with John, right?
Mm-hmm. John and Stacy.
John and Stacy from up there, just to talk the details of all the event and everything. Got me excited to be with them again.
I know, me too.
Last year we went out to lunch with them at Azul?
That sounds right.
I think the name of the restaurant was Azul. It was a Mexican restaurant. It was fantastic. And we're going to get together with them again. But here's something that I think is I'm excited about. I think is awesome.
Okay.
Because they're going to be the first ones to have an opportunity to see and buy our brand new Faith and Family t-shirts.
Ooh.
So many of you have seen and you bought the Family First shirts that we have had. Mm-hmm. Actually, this is probably the first podcast in a very long time I'm not wearing one of those t-shirts.
Yeah.
For all of you who are on YouTube, I have my fire chaplain shirt on because when I get done here recording, I'm going to be making my way around to our county fire stations to check on all of our men and women who serve in our county.
You have cookies to deliver.
Yep, got the cookies to deliver.
He's not really the fire chaplain. He's really the cookie delivery guy.
I'm like one of those elves from the Keebler elf thing.
Yeah.
Like small, delivering cookies. Like
people see him anywhere. Any of the firefighters who see him out are always like, "Where's the cookies?
You got cookies with you?" Yeah.
It's so funny.
We went to groundbreaking for a new station that's going to be built, and somebody was like, "You have cookies with you?"
I almost made cookies for that. I should have.
I'm like, no, I didn't.
But it's so funny that's how they know you. It's a great reputation, in my opinion.
Yeah, but yeah, it's. I would much rather have them be like, "Oh, the chaplain's here," versus like, "Oh,
chaplain, here we go again."
Here he is. They may feel that way already, but at least I got cookies to give them. So, So I'm not wearing the Family First shirt that I normally have on, but we've got our Faith and Family shirt that's going to be coming out, and we'll be showing it off and selling it for
Modeling
the very first time there up in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
You're an excellent model, by the way.
I mean...
You make T-shirts look good with all those muscles.
You know what I mean? Do my little turn on the catwalk.
Yeah, you do.
On the catwalk. So make your plans to be there with us or... just stop by, get your new t-shirt. So,
yeah. We'd love to see all of our friends and our listeners when we go around the country speaking at conferences, because it's just very special to get to see people that you haven't seen for a while. And
it's so fun. It's about a month away. And then a month after that, we're going to be in Mississippi. Month after that, we've got one over here in Florida. And,
in Orlando area.
Yep. Got some conversations going for possibly one in Oklahoma, one in Michigan. So, as well as a couple men's retreats already on the schedule for this year. Looking forward to being out and about, seeing all of you starting in February.
All right. So let's get into our discussion for today. We're talking about worry. What if most of what you worry about in your marriage never actually happens?
Well, that is the truth.
That is the truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
But even if we know that, sometimes it doesn't help us. Here's a study cited by Cornell University that found 85% of the things people worry about never happen. I want to repeat that.
Okay, but hold on.
Okay.
I can't not think of
Andy
when you say Cornell.
And the Nard dog.
Yes, from the office. Yeah.
I know, you hear
She's
Cornell.
like Cornell, and I was like, I have no idea what you said after that.
Okay, maybe that's how everybody else was too.
Because I just hear him singing.
Yeah. Okay, let me say it again so all of you can listen.
Savannah.
Focus.
Yep. I'm obviously not worried. So
this is why our girls call me the fun killer, though, because like,
I'm
you
chatting,
go do this
I'm
and
having
that.
a good time, and she's like, "Hey,
Pay
come
attention.
back,
we
back.
have statistics to share.
We got an episode to do here." And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Like, people are dying to hear the statistics because I'm one of the people that love statistics.
I
so.
will much rather hear something from Cornell than Webster.
Okay, so 85%. That is a huge percent, people, of the things that people worry about never happen. 85%.
Yeah, but
Okay.
what if it's the 15% that does?
Okay, let's talk about...
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
What if I'm the 15%?
Okay.
Because, like...
Right, so...
Obviously, I'm unique.
You are so unique and special. Okay, of the remaining 15% of things that actually do happen, nearly 80% of people say that the situation was easier to handle than expected, or that it led to valuable growth.
Okay.
So even the things that actually do happen, that 15%, it actually is not usually as bad as what we think, or it's helpful. So like, okay, it was really bad, but man, I learned a lot.
So then you just have to worry about if you're one of like the 3% that's left over, that it's just as bad or worse than you were worrying about.
I suppose that there is a way that you could look at that. You are quite the pessimist, aren't you?
No, realist.
Oh, here we go.
This is what's really going to happen.
So here's the deal. If you're constantly bracing for the worst, you're imagining future conflicts, you're expecting failure or rejection. Here's what our hope is for this episode, that it will help you breathe again, relax a little, reset your perspective, and build your marriage rooted in trust rather than in fear.
Well, and this is a thing that is proven. Like, whatever you focus in on is what you will see. Mm-hmm. So if you're always focused in on the negative things that could happen, you're going to train yourself to see the negative things that happen in life. And the same is true of the opposite. Like, we're not hey, if you think it'll happen.
Right.
But we're talking about, this is what you focus in on all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not like, well, I put that out in the universe and it happened, but it's more like, hey, you are always dwelling on the negative, so you're going to see the negative.
Absolutely. Yes. Or it does kind of become a self-fulfilling prophecy because you go in that direction because it's where your mind is going. It's what you've said is going to happen. And then all of a sudden it does. And you're like, I knew it, but really you kind of made it happen to yourself.
Well, and it's just because you notice it. Like, think about cars for a second. We have a whole driveway full of Honda CR-Vs out there of all colors. And so now everywhere we go, our whole family sees CR-Vs, and we point them out to each other like, look, your car twin. Like, or there's Catherine. She's on her way home, and Catherine's in the car with us.
Yeah.
So we see them all the time because that's what we're focused in on. And I think that's the way it is with a lot of people, whether positive or negative. It's not that you made it happen. That's what you focused on, so that's what you're going to see. And you're going to keep on seeing it until you choose to retrain your mind, what you focus in on.
So today we're going to discover why most of what you're worried about won't even happen and how to handle it when it does together, right? That's what we're going to talk about today.
All right. So when you're worried about everything or deeply about many things, it will affect affect your relationship negatively, especially your marriage, because that is, that's your most important relationship. It's the person you should be the closest to. And so it's going to have the biggest impact on that relationship there. But one of the things that worrying all the time does is make you less emotionally available.
Yeah.
Right? You are spending most of your emotional currency on worrying about the negative things that might happen. This war that might break out over here, the economy that might collapse here, And so when I'm emotionally invested in all these negative things, that means I have less emotional availability for Lysandra, for my children, for the other people in my life. It's harder to fully listen. It's harder to enjoy time together or notice how others are feeling. And one of the things that this does is you will have people who may feel ignored or pushed aside, even though that's not your intention.
Yeah.
But that's the result of what's happening because we're worried all the time about this thing, that thing, or
just so
whatever
preoccupied with whatever it is.
We all have only a limited amount of emotional bandwidth and currency. So if I'm spending all that worried about what's going on in Ukraine or what's going on the other side of the country, then I have less to spend right here. Not to say we don't have compassion for people who are going through other things, or in different places, but that's way different than worrying about everything.
Yeah, and we are going to talk, for those of you who are concerned about this, we're going to talk about the difference between harmful worry and helpful concern, because I feel like I'm a concerned person, not a worrier. But that's kind of a fine line. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if you are definitely a worrier and you're worrying about everything or maybe one very, very deep issue, here's the other thing that it can do is it can lead to irritability or impatience. And you've probably seen that. Constant worry puts your body under stress, and that stress ends up showing up as snapping at people, right?
Yeah.
And who's the first person that experiences that in your life? It's your spouse. The closest relationship to you. Getting frustrated easily, like being irritable over things that wouldn't normally irritate you. And that I definitely end up with Thomas.
Well, and we talked about this before on the podcast when your sister was going through cancer and the whole, Pollo Tropical fiasco where Lysandra out of nowhere just kind of blew up on all of us, which was so strange. It's out of the ordinary, but when we really stopped to think about it, it had to do with she's worried. She might use the word concerned, but
because I wasn't worried about my sister.
She's worried about her sister and what she's going through, not being able to be there for her. Yeah. So a lot of times when our focus is on something, it comes up in other places. We snap, as you mentioned.
And it can happen with overreacting to small things, and that can end up hurting people who are close to you. It's going to hurt your marriage. There's going to be long-lasting effects to that. So these are things just to consider when maybe you are that person who worries all the time. It's not something that you want to just be like, well, I'm a worrier.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's hurting your relationships. We gotta turn that ship around.
Well, and you talk about overreacting to small things. Yeah, it's actually something I'm trying to work on this year. Like I'm intentionally trying to work on, whether that's traffic or like what happened this morning. So I am the first one up in the morning typically. I get up at 4 o'clock, head to the gym, and we have a driveway that'll fit 4 cars. We have 5 cars. And so we have told the kids in the past, hey, whenever you come home, just make sure my car and mom's van are parked closest to the street so that we can get out.
Because we go to the gym in the morning and they know that.
Yeah. So I get up this morning, do all my stuff. I open the garage door and I see my car right next to the garage. And I'm just like, my first reaction is to get upset. Like that's my initial reaction. Is it a big deal that I have to move one car, get my car out, put the other car back?
No, it's just annoying.
Not a big, especially at 4 in the morning. But it's not a big deal. And so, that first initial reaction is like to get angry, upset, go wake her up so she can move her. And I'm like, Okay, no, we're working on being chill, not letting anything bother you, not overreacting.
I had my own story for that about you.
Oh,
and
really?
I thought you were going to tell this story.
Yeah.
And then you didn't. And I was like laughing because I'm like, oh, that's not the one I was going to tell.
Okay, so you can tell that.
Okay, that one, the Keurig.
What about the Keurig?
The Keurig falling out of the van.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because we came home from vacation, we took a coffee maker with us. And when you opened the van, you told one of the kids, hold on to the stuff in the back.
It was Violet, yeah.
And
Violet.
I'm gonna open up the van, and the Keurig fell out because there's too much stuff for one person to hold.
Yeah.
And so the Keurig fell. You were not happy.
No, I was not happy. Well, it's like a plastic Keurig hits the concrete. It's probably not going to make it, but it's fine.
It's fine. It still works. That
but
baby can handle some abuse.
You're talking about overreacting to small things. I'm intentionally this year trying to work on just being chill, not let literally anything bother me.
I love that. I'm excited for this. Okay, but I would say for you, that doesn't happen because you're worried.
No,
you're not overreacting to small things because you're worried. It's more of an anger thing.
No, it just came up, and I kind of want to share what I was working on this year.
I love that.
Yeah.
I like that you work on things.
I try to work on things. I got a lot to work
Me
on
too.
over here.
Me too. But isn't it nice, ladies and gentlemen? Answer me this. Isn't it nice to be married to somebody who tries to work on things? Somebody who's self-aware, tries to work on things. I really appreciate that about my husband.
I'm trying to work on me, not necessarily this, but...
Well, I'm working on our marriage. You work on you. I'll work on me.
All right, perfect.
I'll take double duty.
If I get better, it'll be better all the way around for us. So.
That is absolute truth. Okay, what are we even talking about?
So we're talking about
your
worry and what it does, even if we don't realize what it's doing.
Right.
So one of the things that it can cause is misunderstandings. Mm-hmm. If you're quiet, distracted, or withdrawn because you're worrying, others might assume you're upset with them or don't care, even though what's really happening is you're just stuck in your own thoughts.
Yeah.
And
this is so real.
You're playing out different scenarios in your mind. You're trying to work through all the different things that could possibly go wrong, how the conversation might go sideways, and
how you will react.
Yeah.
The thing you want to say or do, how you can prevent it.
And like we said, most of the time, none of that ever happens, but
85%.
we're busy running through all these different scenarios in our mind. So when our spouse is trying to talk to us or share with us or just play around and connect with us, we're not reacting because we're so distracted.
Yeah. It's really hurting.
So then they're like,
relationship.
well, why are they upset with me? What's going on?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, it can also create imbalance in the relationship. And this one, it might be like, what are you even talking about? So if one person is always worrying, then the other person may feel like, oh, I have to fix this, or I have to reassure, or I have to carry the emotional weight myself, because if I tell them how I'm feeling or what's going on with me or what might be happening with our finances, then they will freak out. So I can't tell them. So I have to bear this by myself. So it becomes exhausting for both sides over time. If you have one person who's the worrier, the other person feels like, I can't worry about anything because I've got to hide and protect, my spouse from all this stuff. So this is a huge weight, and it creates that imbalance in the relationship.
Well, and here's something that can also happen is then you have the person who's not normally the worrier. They're worrying about how this news is going to affect their spouse. And so then they start to run through all these scenarios of how their spouse is going to respond. And once again, a lot of times even that's not even accurate. So right. It does tend to compound itself. It also can reduce trust or closeness. Overthinking can lead to doubting intentions, replaying conversations, or assuming the worst.
Yeah.
And this can slowly chip away at trust and make closeness that much harder, And when I think about that, especially when you're talking about assuming the worst, I'm reminded of what Paul wrote to us about what love is. And true love always assumes the best instead of assuming the worst. But when we let our worry get out of control, what we do start to do is the exact opposite. We start to assume the worst about them, how they're going to respond, how they're going to act, what they're doing. Mm-hmm. It's like I saw a meme just yesterday, and I forget the exact wording, but it basically was along the lines of when you don't text her back in the first 5 minutes, and then she texts back like, have fun with your life. I know you're cheating on me right now. And it's just like,
what?
Literally, didn't have my phone with me or whatever. Like assuming the worst.
That's funny. Okay, let me
But
ask
some
you.
people jump there.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
they literally
absolutely.
just
Jump
jump
to
right
the worst.
there.
Yeah. Okay, Thomas. I think that this is a true statement. I'm going to make a statement, and you tell me if you think this is true.
All right.
All worry stems from fear.
False.
I didn't finish the sentence. Do
I
you know
just-
what the last word was?
I just assumed that if you were saying it, it was false. Fake news.
Did you hear the last word?
Yeah, fear.
Fear. All worry stems from fear. Is that true? I'm thinking it through in my mind. I think it's true.
Probably, which stems from pride. Like, so take that root a little bit
Self-focus.
deeper. Yeah.
Self-focus, which leads to fear of things not working out or someone not treating you right or everything falling apart or whatever, then that leads to worry.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So it can also stop you from being present. Worry often focuses on the future or the past, and that is really true because most of
Yeah.
our worry is all about what was that conversation about? What did that actually mean? That interaction, did they mean that by that? And or the future, which is like what might happen.
Yeah. So when you talk about like the past, Sandra and I were at the gym today, and we were on treadmills side by side, and it's the back row of the treadmill. So there's a row of treadmills in front of us, and there's a lady walking, and all of a sudden we just hear clank, 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 real loud. She had knocked her water bottle off, and it's funny because you can kind of see her like looking down.
We're
like
behind her, but I swear I could see her facial reactions
Yeah.
just by her body language. It
she's
was
looking
so-
down at
so
it,
funny.
trying to figure out like, how do I get off the treadmill while it's going to go
do?
get it? And I leaned over to Sandra after she picked it up, and I was like, this is the last day she's coming to the gym. Like, she's never coming back here after that.
January 6th, and she's done.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But we will do sometimes worry about the past, like
Yeah.
what we did and now how we interacted with somebody, and it's like, nah, I can't deal with this.
what I think that the funniest thing was when she dropped that is she looked at it and you could see like different thoughts going through her mind. And then there was this like this moment where she was like, oh, well, just leave it. Like
Yeah.
she was just going to leave it on that treadmill. Then she kept walking, and then you could see she was kind of like,
She looked at it again. Yeah.
Because like, what if somebody comes? I'm going to get thirsty. Like you could just feel all these thoughts. And so
It's
she had to
so
go get
funny.
the thing.
I was trying hard not to laugh. It was so
Yeah.
funny.
And I've been there. Actually, yesterday I dropped my my earbud. Fell out of my ear while I was running, and it went onto the next treadmill. So I had to like
Yep.
stop my run, slow it all the way down to like a small walk, go get the earbud. It was really annoying. So I feel her pain.
But what we often don't realize is when that happens to us, it happens to everybody.
It happens
Like, it
to
happens
everybody.
all the time. If you're around the gym long enough, people are dropping their earbuds, they're dropping their phone, they're dropping their
Falling
water.
off the treadmill. I've seen that too.
The best thing happened. This was probably sometime last year. It was on one of the Smith machines, and they're all really tight together. And this woman who she does her whatever she's doing, and then she'll take a lap around the whole gym for some reason. But she kicked her water bottle over that didn't have a lid.
Oh no.
Water went everywhere.
That's such a bummer.
But then she didn't she walked away, and we're like, oh, okay, like she's going to go get paper towels or a mop or go tell somebody. She was just making her lap. Like, she didn't tell, she just left the water, and like me and other people are like looking at each other like, is this really happening right now? Like, she had no worries. She was the exact opposite. She did not care at all. So finally I went up to the desk and was like, hey, this lady like kicked her water everywhere. Can we get a mop or something? But yeah, it was like, she was the
Somebody
exact
could
opposite.
actually get hurt
You
on
got
that,
one
too.
person who drops their water bottle and they're freaking out. And then you got another person who literally kicks water all over everywhere and who's like,
It's fine.
oh well.
The best is to be somewhere in between, balance.
I mean, you ought to be concerned for people that might get injured
Care,
because
but
of
don't
what
worry.
you've done. Yeah.
Care, but don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. So worry can cause a lot of problems. Now, I feel like Thomas would probably call me a worrier. Would you call me a worrier?
I would say you tend to lean more towards worry.
I don't feel like I am a worrier. I feel like things will concern me.
This is actually a great exercise for people to do.
Okay.
Have a conversation with your family members and ask them, do you feel like I am a concerned person, or do you feel like I worry about stuff?
Yeah, because a lot of times we're not self-aware
Yeah, we don't necessarily see ourselves clearly.
Right. We paint ourselves in the best light. I know I do that all the time.
Well, and it's like natural because like when we look at each other in the mirror, they say we see ourselves 10 times like better, more handsome, prettier than we actually are.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Like you view
Why'd you tell me that?
Like you view yourself better than you act. Now, there are some people who they have like a disorder where they see themselves a lot worse than what they actually are. But for the most part, we see ourselves better than we actually. And I think that's true in every area. Like we think of ourselves better than we actually are.
Yeah.
You know, so having somebody around you that can answer that question honestly, I think is a good exercise for all of us.
So here's how I see it. This is why I don't think I'm a worrier. Because when I have something that upsets me or I am worried about, right, I pretty much immediately take it to God and pray about it. And it doesn't prevent me from sleeping.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect my current relationships most of the time. Like, obviously, there's exceptions and everything.
Sure.
But that's why I don't think it's worry. I think it's just like normal concern dealing with relationships and stuff. And I feel like I handle it the right way. Therefore, it's not worry. Okay. But I could be wrong. And so now I feel like we should have this conversation with the kids.
So what does Webster say worry actually is?
I actually did not look that up.
Really?
Yeah, I did not look it up this time. Do you want to look up for us what Webster's dictionary defines worry as?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm
just shocked.
I do have some information on what the difference is between healthy concern and dangerous worry.
But I don't know. I think our listeners are feeling the same way. Like you've let us down.
You guys, I have my phone on and I'm going to look
We
it
just
up.
expect you to have the definitions for all this different stuff so that we can know.
Webster's dictionary definition of worry.
Oh boy.
I just talked to text because I'm so lazy I don't want to type. Webster's definition of worry involves mental distress from anxiety or unease about potential problems. The act of following one's mind to dwell on difficulties, often described as fretting, troubling, or harassing oneself or others with care, with older meanings also including physical tearing or tearing or harassing something. There you go. I think that based on Webster's definition there, I'm not a worrier.
I think you are.
What? You're kidding. Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
I'm getting real high.
Why are you fretting about this?
It's not fretting. It's anxiety. There's no anxiety in my life.
Your voice sounds pretty high right now.
You know what I'm worried about?
What?
You and your perspective of me. It's very concerning. I just want to choke you right now. What does that mean? Does that have anything to do with worry?
I'm a little worried, but so you're harassing me.
Yes. Never mind. I'm a worrier.
Okay. But you to your point, like not every concern is worry.
Yes.
There is a difference between worry and a healthy concern. So we're going to try to help you define the two. Okay.
Okay. Let's do it.
So healthy concern is useful in balance. There's things that we should be concerned about.
Absolutely. Like dumping water all over the gym floor where other people can slip using heavy weights.
Yeah. Or, being concerned about the safety of our kids.
Mm-hmm. Or how we spend our money.
Reasonable manner. So like when we go hiking, we have some who maybe don't necessarily think about the repercussions that if you're not really paying attention, you could literally
die.
Fall off the side of a cliff. Or just being, especially as females. So for those of you who are new to the podcast, probably saw the podcast art, at least. It's me and my wife and our 4 daughters. So especially young women need to pay closer attention to their surroundings and the things that can happen to them out in public. Like there's just natural concerns. Like you shouldn't fear and worry that you're going to be kidnapped everywhere you go, but it is wise to not be staring into your phone while you're walking across a dark parking lot. Like you should always be aware of your surroundings.
Right. Faith over fear, but add in wisdom.
Yeah. That is a great suggestion.
Thank you.
But here's what it looks like. So healthy concern is focused on a real issue. Okay? Mm-hmm. So this is not some made-up scenario that possibly could happen or this or that. It's a real issue that leads to problem-solving action. So you're actually doing something about it. it's also flexible. In other words, you can shift your attention when needed. Whereas worry seems to just kind of take up all of our attention, and it's really, really hard to get your mind and your attention off of the thing that you're worried about. Healthy concern is also proportionate to the situation. So, like, I'm concerned differently about if I spill my pre-workout. This happened to me one time.
Okay.
I'm just remembering this now. So, I use a kind of a shaker blender bottle. So you screw it on, and then it's got you push the button and flip the lid up so you can take a drink. Like a small little hole in the lid. And I didn't push down the flip up thing tight. And so I went to shake it up.
Oh no.
And shook pre-workout everywhere. So
I'm sorry, did you clean it up right? Like where did this happen?
I did clean it up. Yeah, I cleaned it up. No, this was at the gym.
Oh, it was
like,
at the gym.
It was at the gym.
I thought you were talking about here in the kitchen. I'm like, where was it?
No, this was at the gym.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah. So then I got to clean it up, right?
Yeah, and it stops your workout.
It stops my workout. But like there's a healthy concern. Like I'm concerned to make sure nobody is injured or whatever by slipping on that. That's a different level of concern than one of my kids is walking across the parking lot, not paying attention, and they almost step out in front of a car that's coming. Right? Those are two different very concerns. So your concern should be proportionate to whatever the situation is. And then healthy concern is temporary.
Yes.
Like it eases up once something is done, whereas worry just keeps on going, right? I have a test coming up. I'll study tonight and ask for help if I need it. Like that's a healthy concern.
Yes.
Think about the test, and then you're taking the action. I'm going to study, and you also know if I have something I can't figure out, I'm going to ask for help. So,
yeah.
But what about what kind of impact does healthy concern have on relationships, Lysandra?
Healthy concern encourages communication, right? Because it talks about the issue. It shares what's going on. It shows care without overwhelming others. And it doesn't take over conversations or emotions. Worry, you can't control. It's everywhere. It seeps into everything. It's just like this uncontrolled beast. Whereas healthy concern, if you need to talk about it, you talk about it. And then you're like, okay. Now, also, something to think about with this too. Like, I think sometimes you think I'm worrying, but really I'm just verbally processing. Yeah. And it takes me a long time.
Also known as word vomit.
Yes. Which is a very annoying thing that I do. And I wish I could change it, but I don't know. I think it's like who I am.
It is who you are. It's just how you process things.
Yeah, it's how I process things. And Thomas is so gracious. He's a listener, which is great. He's a quiet person, which makes us a wonderful team.
People listening to the podcast are like, he's a quiet person?
He is.
Like,
he
what?
really is. He's very quiet. So he will sit there and just listen to me share the things. And I'm actually reading a book right now called Clout. Tom's already read it. It's very good. I'm only at the beginning. But one of the things it talks about is like how being able to share something with someone else can release the pressure.
Yeah.
And Thomas is that person for me. I'm very thankful for him. All right, let's talk about harmful worry. Harmful worry is repetitive and draining. So this is not like the
healthy concern.
The healthy concern, which is, more balanced. It's useful. Harmful worry is repetitive and it's draining. It depletes you. It loops over the same thoughts again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
Even if there's no real solution, like if there's nothing you can do about it, why are you thinking about it?
Right. Like the situation that's going on with Venezuela right now. There's nothing I can do about it. You say, well, I could go out and I could protest, or I could hold a sign, or I could do this or that. And it's like, yeah, but what is that actually doing? You might be making yourself feel better, but you're not actually doing anything about the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here's the other thing that harmful worry does is it focuses on worst case scenarios. Mm-hmm. Now, it's okay to think about a worst case scenario. Like I always, with my kids, I always would think about the worst case scenario to help protect them from it if I possibly could, right? So I'm going to take my kids to the park. There are busy streets on either side of the park. I'm going to tell my kids, like, you're not allowed to go and cross that street. It's a busy street, right? Because I'm thinking, what's the worst case scenario? They cross that street, get hit by a car, and my child is dead. That's a legitimate thing that could actually happen.
But is that actually the worst case scenario?
What's worse? If they get hit and survive and are miserable for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, or they're kidnapped.
Oh gosh, yeah, I think that's worse. I don't know if that's worse. How can you even say it? But whatever your version of a worst case scenario is. Okay, so you've got to think about like what could happen and try to protect them, right? That's just parenting.
Yeah.
But when you focus on the worst case scenarios, you live there, you dwell there, you can't get away from thinking about the worst case scenarios. Or you don't take your kids to the park because you're so afraid of the worst case scenario, right? So that's different. That's harmful worry. It feels like it's really hard to control harmful worry. You can't control it. You can't stop thinking about it. You can't change your focus. You can't function in other areas. It continues even when nothing can be done. Which that's different, right, than the helpful concern.
Yeah.
Nothing can be done about this situation, but I'm going to keep on worrying about it, thinking about it, dwelling on it, okay? It affects sleep. This is definitely harmful worry when you cannot sleep because of a situation. It affects your mood. It affects your concentration. You can't concentrate on anything else. This is all harmful worry.
So how often do things affect your sleep?
Not very often. It happens when it's always a relationship.
Okay.
It'll always be a relationship problem. And I really, truly think that there are times when I'm not worrying, I'm processing. You think it's an excuse. If you could see his face on YouTube, you got to go on YouTube to see his face because his face is saying that's an excuse to worry. I'm not kidding though, because I'm not worried about I'm not like, how could I fix this? Why didn't I do this? Why? It's more like processing it. I feel like, you're trying to say I'm a worrier. Just say it. You might as well say it. You're saying it. Just say it.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm just asking you a question. Like you're saying it affects sleep, mood, and concentration. I'm just asking you a simple question. Like how often?
Right.
How often does it
Don't even try to say that is a simple
affect your sleep? That's a simple question. Like how often do things affect your sleep is an easy question.
Not very often. It is always a relationship.
Like not necessarily this relationship.
No, it's pretty much never our relationship because we talk about things and get through them pretty quickly and basically always before we go to bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's always like a church situation. Like somebody at church is angry and then it will affect my sleep. Yeah.
So,
okay. What do you want to say?
Nothing. I'm just.
You are saying so much right now.
I'm just asking you a question.
You are saying so much.
I'm just trying to get you to realize what the situation is. Like, you're telling everyone what this is, and when I point out this is what you're doing, you're like, no, but I'm just processed. Like,
I'm different.
This is exactly. This is what worriers do, though. All right.
Oh no.
So here's what worriers do.
All right. What do we do?
So a lot of worriers, they don't want to call it worry.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about what could happen. I'm processing what could happen. Like you're playing through scenarios in your mind that may or may not happen. That's exactly what worry is.
Yeah. And you think I do that a lot? You think I lose sleep a lot?
There are times where you lose sleep. Like you said, it's always has to do with relationships. It's never about situations or about what's going on in the world.
Or money
really.
Or anything.
Yeah.
But think about this. When was the last time? It was February. This is January right now. You act like this is all the time. This is a real marriage argument right here.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
What?
Wasn't it? When was the last time? Was it February?
I don't know how often your sleep is affected. I'm asking you the question.
Oh, okay. The last time my sleep was affected was February.
I'm sleeping. I have no idea what you're doing.
You're sleeping like a baby. The last time my sleep was affected over a relationship issue was February. It is now January.
Okay.
I don't think that classifies me as an obsessive worrier.
I didn't say obsessive.
I think that there are times I worry.
Yeah. That's what I'm pointing out.
I agree with you.
Okay.
And that's how you have an argument on a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the ways that harmful worry, okay, which is, according to Thomas, what I do all the time.
I never said that. They can play the tape back. I never said that.
Oh, you were careful with what you said.
I always am.
What if I fail? What if I disappoint everyone? What if this ruins everything? So looking at that test idea, right? So this test might be really hard, so I'm going to study, and if I need help, I'm going to ask for help. That's helpful concern. So this is very different because it's saying, like, what if I ruin everything and it doesn't really look for help? Even after you study and study and study, you're still kind of flipping out and worrying in your mind.
Yeah.
And the effects on the relationship, worry.
It could cause irritability. Mm-hmm. Check. Withdrawal. Check. Or reassurance seeking.
Ooh, that is a check for real, though.
Yeah.
The other two are not a check. But reassurance seeking, that's so me.
Okay. And it makes others feel helpless or pushed away.
Do you feel that way?
Reduces
How about now?
Reduces closeness and trust over time.
Something is reducing our closeness right now, but
yeah,
it isn't my worry. It's your judgment.
Yeah. This episode is not on judgment, though, so
right.
I don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so let's look at a Bible verse that can help us with this. Maybe you, like me, are a terrible, terrible worrier, and this is something you deal with all the time.
Well, my favorite one is God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind.
That actually is one of my very favorite verses, and I repeat that often and quote it often.
Well, and we would often talk to the kids about it, too, when they were afraid about something.
They memorized that verse when they were like 3.
Yeah.
But this is Isaiah 41:10, and it's a really good one and might be one for you to memorize. Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And you'll notice that all of the solutions to the fear are found in God, not in yourself.
Yeah.
So oftentimes when we do sit there and worry about what happened, what might happen, we're trying to look for solutions that we can work out. But we've got to turn to God.
Well, and what we do when we choose to worry is we put ourselves in God's seat. Mm-hmm. Instead of trusting him to be in control and that he's got it and that everything he's going to handle everything, we kind of take God off the throne and we decide to sit in the throne. But the problem with that is we don't have the ability to handle it, to take care of it, to work out the outcomes. So, we have to remove ourselves from the throne and say, God, you're in charge. Like, you've got this. Mm-hmm. And I love that he's with us because no matter what happens, and you think about those worst case scenarios, God's with us.
Yeah,
he's got us. Mm-hmm. So whatever happens in that scenario around the world, whatever the war, or rumor of war, or famine, or fire, or flood, or whatever it is, like, God is with us even in the worst times of our lives.
And one thing to think about too is, like, go ahead and let yourself go to the worst case scenario, whatever your version of worst case scenario is. All right, you're there in your mind. Is God with you? The answer is yes. That means it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're going to make it.
So let's just share 4 practical steps for you to take in your marriage to help with worry. Mm-hmm. So first thing that I want you to do is to say the worry out loud. Now, you need to do it calmly, and let's do it honestly. Like, what is the thing that you're worried about? Worry grows in silence. Sharing it reduces its power. So instead of holding it in, say, I've been feeling worried about, and fill in the blank, whatever it is. Like, I've been feeling worried about that. I'm not sure how we're going to pay our mortgage this month. Whatever it is, you're going to say that. I've been feeling worried about, fill in the blank, and I don't want it to come between us. Mm-hmm. So this invites connection rather than conflict. Mm-hmm. You're inviting your spouse into your life, into how you're feeling, what you're thinking about. Mm-hmm.
And even just sharing it with your spouse will lighten the worry. Like, it will lighten the load. It will help. Number 2, separate facts from fears. So much of what we're worried about is not factual. It's just a fear, a concoction in our mind. Worry mixes up real information with imagined outcomes.
Yeah.
So you can try this together. So this is, remember, we're talking about together. This is how you're working on it together. You're gonna share that worry that you have with them, and then these are the questions that you together are gonna answer. What do we know for sure? So what are actual facts? Mm-hmm. All right, so list that out. Okay, what are we assuming or fearing? And a lot of times we make such assumptions about what other people thought or felt or what they're saying to other people and all of that. Answering these two questions is going to help your brain slow down, restore clarity and trust, and it's going to bring connection between the two of you because you're really coming at this thing together.
Well, and I like that question, what do we know for sure? Because there's a lot that we just don't know, and we often try to pretend that we do. You see this happen on social media all the time. Like something happens in the world, and all of a sudden, everybody is an expert on that country and that scenario and everything that's happening and the law. And it's like, you really don't know anything. You've heard this person, you feel this, you think you know. Yeah. And a lot of times we have no idea.
And there is so much fake news out there that a lot of times we really don't know what's happening. And then later on we find out, oh, that was fake. That didn't even mean anything. And yet I lost 2 nights of sleep.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
And we assume that this person's intentions and all of this stuff, we assume they know what we thought or how we feel, and then they reacted to it. This is all this stuff, and we don't really know a lot. We assume a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's such a waste of our time.
And so that's great advice that you just gave there about separating facts from fears. Mm-hmm. And then once we've taken time to do that, so we've kind of verbalized what the worry is, we've taken time to separate the facts from the fears. Next thing that we're going to do is choose trust before reassurance seeking. So constant reassurance can feed worry, right? And it's kind of how it works. It feeds into the worry because we like to be reassured, right? It makes us feel good to have our spouse or somebody reassure us about this or that constantly. And some people that that we have people we know, and they kind of they love it. It's almost like an addiction, to get that reassurance from people. So we're going to choose trust first. Trust builds peace. And remember, it all goes back to your relationship with God and how you view God. That verse in Isaiah talks about the fact it's a promise from God. He's going to be with us. He's going to take care of you. He's going to uphold you, right? Do you truly trust that or not? You can't say you're trusting God and worry at the same time. Like those two things are directly opposed to each other.
Right.
Worry is literally us saying, I don't trust you, God. And because I don't trust you, now I have to deal with this myself.
Right.
But trust builds peace. So try this. When you want to ask for reassurance, pause and remind yourself, I choose to trust what has already been shown to be true. So once again, instead of assuming the worst about a person or a situation, instead I'm going to assume the best. Trust doesn't ignore problems, though, okay? It just refuses to let fear control them.
Yeah. That's good. All right. And then fourthly, create a shared calming habit. All right. So what can we do when one of us is all worried and very anxious and everything?
So okay, you're going to give some ideas.
Yeah. Okay. So peace grows when couples intentionally slow down together. You can take a short walk.
Which is something we like to do, like when we're in a stressful season, something's happening at church or in the family or whatever, just between us. It's like, okay, let's go for a walk on the beach, or let's go walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah, it helps me a ton. Like this is just a remedy for me. Walking and talking with Thomas. I think there's something about the fresh air, the sunshine, the exercise, moving, and then of course the communication and the connection with my husband. All those things work together to bring this peace and calm me down and everything. Pray should be, prayer should be the go-to, right? Like, so prayer is like, for me, that's the go-to. That the second I'm concerned about something, the second I'm worried about something, I immediately stop to pray.
But you're talking about, obviously we should do that first by ourselves. That should be the first thing. But we're talking about,
As
praying together also as a
right.
couple, right?
Which that really can't happen until after you've explained what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to talk about it first, and then you can pray together. And then reflect together. So, okay, we've prayed together. We've talked this out. Reflect on the situation, maybe even on each other's feelings. Like, how are you feeling now? How did you feel then? Whatever. This one is really good, and it seems so simple, but take 3 deep breaths before difficult conversations. Mm-hmm. There is something real about breathing. I make my daughters do this, and I know that they are very annoyed. But when they're upset and anxious or angry or something, I'm like, all right, we're going to breathe deeply together. And I just make them do it. I sound like some new age.
It's like, just stop.
Wackadoo.
Yeah.
But it really does help.
Just pause.
So, yeah, if it helps, it helps, even if you seem weird. But all these like small habits that you can do can create emotional safety over time and help you.
Yeah.
All right. So now, Thomas, let's talk about your worry. There is one situation that Thomas has illogical worry. Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
The only thing I can think of is when we travel.
Yes, it's airplanes. All right, so here's the way that Thomas worries on airplanes. Is like he'll look at the layovers, like the flight is delayed, maybe there's weather or whatever.
You're right. This is like one thing.
This is his one thing.
It's irrational.
Because he doesn't worry about anything else in life, this is what I love.
I want to get where I'm going.
Yeah. I am more of the worrier in the family. And so...
so you admit it.
Yeah, definitely. Between the two of us, I worry way more.
Like, it just took an hour conversation on the podcast, but she got there, folks. This is great.
Shut up. I'm not saying I worry all the time, but compared to you, yeah. So Thomas is not worried or maybe even concerned about anything in life ever until we get on an airplane.
Or we're going to get on an airplane.
Yeah, it starts before we ever get there. Actually, it starts the night before, and you lose sleep.
I typically will not sleep well the night before.
Yes.
Some part of it's excitement for the trip and all that, but part of it is like, what could possibly happen along the way.
Could go wrong.
Which none of it I can control.
Face. It's so cute.
None of it I can control. I know it's stupid,
It is. And I love sitting back and I'm all chill and just watching him worry because I'm like, man, it's nice that it's not me this time. But I mean, it doesn't affect him. Well, sometimes you are a little bit short.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will be a little bit like snappy at me. Not always, but sometimes.
Because here's what happens, right?
Tell us.
Okay, so she knows this about me, and yet right before boarding, so they've already started boarding, but because we always buy the cheapest tickets, we're always the last to board, and we're like lowest class on the plane.
They're like peasants. Yeah. Any of the peasants come forward.
Yeah. So
that's us.
We're always the last ones to get on the plane, but they'll start boarding, and then Lysander's like, "I'm gonna use the bathroom."
Yep. And now I do this on purpose, strategically.
Yeah. So I'm stuck holding her stuff, and like, is she going to come back before it's time for us to get on the plane?
Yeah. And I don't do that to like challenge you or help you with your worry, although I'm sure it's a good lesson for you.
It sure feels like
I do that
the whole time I'm like standing there, I'm like listening to them call. It's getting closer. I'm watching the direction you went to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, it's been a while. Like, she should definitely be coming back now. Where is she? Like,
all right, how many times have we missed our flight because I went to the bathroom?
A lot. Actually.
Zero.
More than I'd like to say.
So the reason that I do it, and all of the women who have had a bunch of children will understand this, or maybe if you haven't had a bunch of children, you'll understand this, but I drink a lot. And
that sounds bad.
I drink a lot of water.
Episode to deal with.
I drink a lot of water, and so when that seatbelt buckle sign goes on, you are trapped. You are not allowed to go to the bathroom, and I have to go to the bathroom a lot. So I need to relieve my bladder right before I get on the plane, so that I can make it till at least the seatbelt sign goes off, or if I can make it without going to the bathroom on the plane, that's ideal. But that's got to be a pretty short flight.
That never happens.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to upset him. But I will say this. Everyone, no matter how chill you are, sometimes deals with worry.
That's true.
Sometimes.
About something.
Yeah. And let me ask this question, Thomas. Does it make you weak or bad or wicked or evil or less than?
Yes.
Wrong answer.
Oh.
The implied answer is no. It doesn't. It's just something that you struggle with, and it is a skill. Dealing with worry is a skill that you can develop. It is something that you can develop with the Lord.
Yes.
So don't feel like you're a bad person if you're the worrier. I know that's kind of how I have felt this episode. Like, as you tried to put a light on my worry, I felt like you're trying to say that I am somehow like a bad person or like less than.
I'm not trying to say it.
It's just there. It's just the truth.
I'm saying it.
No, you're not. You're making everybody else who worries feel that way. Is that what you want?
Good. There's a resource we can give you to help you with that.
Oh my goodness. Please, nobody listen to him. Nobody does listen to you. I think we're
They
safe.
do not.
I think we're safe. You're not less than because you worry. It's just something that you need to work on. And you can do that with this bonus resource, From Worry to Trust. And this is a marriage reflection guide. It's going to help with your relationship, thinking about how much you worry about your marriage, thinking about how much you worry in general, and it affects your marriage. You can email us at info@familymeeting.org, and we will send you that reflection guide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all have things that we deal with. We should not worry. I think it is wrong to worry. Mm-hmm. Scripture tells us we're not to be anxious about anything, but to go to God in prayer about it, like trust Him about it. So I wouldn't say people are less than, but is it right to worry? No,
right.
Definitely not.
And it's something that you can develop, and it's a skill you can hone in on.
We can conquer worry.
Absolutely.
We definitely can conquer worry through Him. So
yes.
Family meeting tonight is to sit down and have a conversation with your spouse about what do you worry about? And if you say, I don't think I worry about anything, ask your spouse, because
they will tell you about airlines.
Exactly. Until Sandra brought that up, it didn't even come to my mind.
I had that in the holster the whole episode. Just want you to know.
Dang, you were just waiting
I totally
to get me
did.
too.
I was like, when do I want to bring it up? And then I realized we were at the end of the episode, and I was like, oh, yes, now.
She's like, now. But that's the thing, is like you may not even come up. It may be a very specific scenario or situation that your worry comes out. But like Lysandra said, we all have something that brings that out of us, where we just don't have control, and then we fear and worry about whatever the situation or outcome is going to be. So having a conversation about that can go a long way in helping you and I learn to trust God better in those situations.
Thanks for joining us today. Please go and subscribe to the Family Meeting podcast from your favorite podcast provider. And if you found this information helpful, please share this episode on social media and invite friends and family to listen in with you.
To find more content and information Lysandra and I provide, you can go to our website, familymeeting.org, or email us at info@familymeeting.org. If you'd like to shoot us a text or call us, you can send a voice message at 904-257-3062.
And we want to invite you to join us for our next family meeting as we discuss chores.
All right, it's going to be an exciting episode.
Why chores are good for your kids. I know that all parents are like, woohoo, I can get on board with this episode.
Yeah.
But we are going to look at how chores can actually equip your kids to do well professionally.
Okay.
And
I agree with that.
I'm going to love this episode because I love chores. You do not love chores.
No, I don't.
You despise chores, but you do them.
I do them. But we've already seen this start to, have a positive effect on our kids and what they started to do. So we're excited to share that with you. Thanks for joining us today for this family meeting. Have a great week, everybody. This meeting is adjourned. All right, so what has you worried today? Drop it in the comments. Let's have a little conversation about it. We can share some verses with each other, some words of encouragement, maybe some reasons why I don't need to worry about the airlines and what's going to happen, or when I'm going to get to a certain place. But we can help each other there in the comments. Until then, we'll see you next week.
Have a great week.